Hi everyone, I'm Sandra Ingerman and welcome to the Shamans Cave.
And I'm Renee Baribeau, and we are very excited to be sharing this auspicious day with you. Those of you who are in the north, it's the winter solstice, and those who are in the southern hemisphere, it is the summer solstice. And I always get, I always seem to think that our bearings are about whether we live above the north or the south. And this is my thing because, students are always saying, "Oh, can you give me a summer solstice event?" I'm thinking like, well, I'm going into the darkness of the winter and you're going into, tending to your gardens and weeding and things growing. And it's almost like two opposing energies. And so how do we find that center? How do we meet at the fire so that you can pull out from those flames what you need, and the people in the who are facing the long dark winter ahead, or the darkest day of the winter, where we now turn that pivotal moment where it starts to get light but we're still into some darkness for a while. And we all know that seeds grow when conditions are right, so that we've planted and they're in that phase of resting, and they're not germinating now for us, but they're germinating for you. So how do we make that balance? What do you say about that, Sandra?
Well, for me, the seasons, I feel that in our culture, we just think in linear terms. And I like to think about nature in feminine terms, that we're not stopping. We didn't move from what's before winter. We
Fall.
As you can see, I'm really not
Maybe you were
linear.
in you were in spring. Maybe you were time jumped over to spring. So
No, I'm just not a linear person. So for me, I think the mistake that shamanic practitioners and people in our culture make is we see the seasons as fall, winter, spring, summer, and to me, nature doesn't work like that. It's phases that flow. They just flow from one place to another. They don't end. It's not spring ended and winter begins. We, we, we ride that wave of it. We move into different phases where if we really pay attention, all of a sudden, over days and weeks, the texture of the air starts to change. Um, the smell in the air starts to change. The animal life starts to change. The sound starts to change. The sound of the wind starts to change. And all of a sudden, instead of looking at your calendar, you go, oh, we're moving into a new season. I mean, to me, I started writing about that in the 1990s, where we're so stuck on the linear, and it's such a beautiful, different perspective to see how we flow from one place to another without an abrupt end, and that we keep getting signs as that flow is changing. It's like when the tide changes, you realize that something's getting ready to happen. When the wind changes, you realize something's getting ready to happen. And so I keep encouraging people who really say they're on a shamanic path to stop looking at calendars and to start smelling the air and feeling the air and noticing the changes in the earth, and what are the plants and trees doing? What are the birds doing? What are the animals doing? And then we learn something besides, oh, is the solstice December 21st or is the solstice December 20th? Everybody's doing it on the wrong date. I mean, there's such a difference in that kind of philosophy, don't you think?
I definitely agree. I was even thinking about that yesterday. That I the deer out in the yard, like the little male deers have started to get their antlers and their horns, and I've noticed recently that they're much more interested in the grass. because all of the blossoms on the trees and in the plants, there's nothing to pick on. So they've changed their focus from, what's been growing to what's in the earth. And so I really, when I watch the deer and then I watch those kinds of things, and the other thing for me is the way the lighting works is that, I'm very keen on my daily wind walks. So it's like now I have to get out by 3:30 in the afternoon or I'm walking totally in dark. So to me, it's more about like, what time do I have to take my walk than, really, am I in December or am I in anywhere? Because one of the things is the Pacific Northwest in the winter has the most compelling skies.
Mm.
the the it's just incredible. It's just these most beautiful landscapes, and so I love all of the season landscapes. So if I should maybe instead of a calendar have a landscape. What's the landscape looking like, and what are the deer doing, and you know the cat doesn't like to go out right now. More relevant issues in my life than today. I don't even know what day is today. I don't really much use my calendar other than we record on Saturdays.
Right. Yeah. I know my husband Woods and I were having a terrible time of what days. I think a lot of people are. Everything is just, everything just kind of blew up, and the pieces are trying to come back together, and we're trying to even get a sense of timing. Like, I can't even believe, I mean, I was just putting together my 2022 calendar a day ago. I swear it was a day ago.
Mhm.
I can't believe that a year has passed. I mean, I just can't even believe it. It's beyond my comprehension. But a way to slow down time is also to watch those changes in nature and observe them and become part of them. Um,
And ceremony.
yeah,
Because
and
when you get into ceremony, you step outside of that time altogether and move into, a nonlinear time by the nature of what ceremony is. And since it is the solstice, and the sun is at a place in the sky, we thought we would do a ceremony today. And so if you're driving, you might want to listen to this part later. If you click like or make a message, then you'll get reminded to listen to it later when I respond to you. And it's really an appropriate time to move into a ceremonial space. And I like to move into a ceremonial space from today through the end of the year to bring back the sacred, to bring back the holy, to bring back to review, like, where did that calendar go, where did that year go, and to really look. And this year I'm being forced by an audit to look at 3 years, and I'm like, it's crazy because the year they're looking at is the COVID, when we were the lockdown year, and the year after, and I'm thinking, like, what have we been through in these last 3 years? Hopefully there's a cycle coming to an end, a 3 year cycle that could usher into a more present experience in the new year.
hmm absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and so Renee and I talked about a ceremony today, and I've kind of gone back and forth on to bring in the new year, and because we're moving into the solstice, but we're also moving into the new year. So the solstice has a lot of meaning because we're looking at moving into a new time and stepping forward and away from our past. And so oftentimes, what I like to do at the end of the year is kind of releasing ceremonies of what do you need to let go of so that you're not burdened by carrying this into a new year. But what I'm getting as a spiritual download for us, what I feel that would be important, because as Renee said, ceremonies are really done over time. And so for today, what I'd like for us to do is a ceremony where we bring to the fire, and it's going to be completely guided by Renee and myself. And we bring to the fire a dream that we would like to manifest, a dream that we would like to manifest for the coming year. For it could be for yourself, it could be for the planet, it could be for a loved one that you have permission to pray for. And we'll bring it to the fire and ask the universe to bless our wishes and to make them so in the year 2023. But what you can do from the solstice until New Year on your own is you can create a very simple ceremony of burning a piece of paper in a candle, burying a rock in the earth, putting something, writing something in the sand and letting water of the ocean or the lake or the river lap it up and take it away, use some bubbles and blow things into the wind. But if every few days or every day you reflect on what burdens are you carrying that's not going to let that dream manifest, so that you do the ceremony continuously. We give to the fire what we dream about, what our soul is calling for. But from the solstice to the new year, we keep letting go, letting go, letting go of what is stopping us from being able to be in alignment with the universe to make our dreams. So, how does that sound?
That sounds great. And if you need a guided journey through this next 10 days, um, I'll be starting with a guided group tonight, and it's just go over to the imsymposium.com, and we have a group of about 50, 75 people who are going to support each other to keep in ceremony for the next 10 days. So either way, do it on your own or come to a guided group with myself, and just either way. And if you only light a candle once, we wish you the most wonderful journey inward during this darkness, or this journey outward if you're down south.
Yeah. So again, this is going to be guided by both Renee and I. And when I work with a guided ceremony, Renee and I work a little bit differently. I do use a picture so that you're not focusing on me, because you really need to be able to make a ceremony really important and meaningful. You need to focus on your own inner space, your own inner world, connecting with the powers of the universe that can make it so, not watching me drum.
Hold on, that's going to take me a second here. And it would be great if you let us know in the YouTube about what ceremonies you like to do over it. What are your special holidays, things that you do, because those are important as well. All right. I found the perfect one for this holiday.
Great. And
The mushrooms.
yeah, and don't forget to bring your ceremonies over to the Shaman's Cave too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I want to thank you. Last week, we especially had a lot of people who commented over about what they were doing, what they were going through, and how much they appreciated the work that we do together. And we really enjoy each other, and love bringing this to you. And those comments really feed me for weeks.
I know. Yeah, because we're out there, and you always wonder, are people listening? Are people absorbing? Is it meaningful? So, thank you for all the wonderful support you're giving us. It's really been beautiful. So,
I Sandra, this week we got a donation from somebody I went to high school with.
oh my God,
I know. I was like, I wrote him back. I go, that just made my day.
that's great. That's
Because
wonderful.
you don't know who's listening. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, something wonderful, like an unexpected gift comes along. And it was like, wow, that's really special. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're getting some good support, which is wonderful. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop my video, and again, I'll guide you through, but I always like to invite people to be more active during their ceremonial work than passive. And so, if you have a drum, a rattle, any kind of instrument that you would like to play, move, dance, drum, rattle, sing, as Renee and I are guiding you on the ceremony. So, we're just going to start with doing a little bit of a calling into the spirits, and I'll call in the spirits, and then Renee will do a little bit of wind whistling, and then I'll get us started. Okay, so you want to open up your heart and take some really, really deep breaths and imagine yourself stepping away from your ordinary world, whatever task you have at hand to do, whatever next you have to do, whatever's happened before the ceremony is not important right now. Imagine yourself taking a step forward away from your ordinary world so that you're freshly stepping into the ceremony, completely embodied and with your full intention and commitment to the circle and the work that we're going to do today. So we all want to open up our hearts and think about what we're grateful for. And I'll just do a little bit of rattling and whistling while we do this. And now Renee will blow the wind whistle to wake up our soul before we move into our journey together.
I pulled a wind spirit card before we started, and we got Amunet, the Egyptian wind of obscurity, and it's the hidden forces at play. So let's bring out your hidden forces and see what's at play with this wind whistling. Okay, so the intention of our ceremony today is as we walk through the solstice, we start to enter the flow of life that brings us into a new year. And there's a lot that we wish to change in our lives. Maybe we want to find more tools to help us dance through the changes that are coming. Maybe we're looking for a new relationship in this year or a job change. Maybe we're looking for some healing in this new year. What are you moving away from as this year ends?
what do you feel yourself moving towards? More light in your life, more healing in your life, better boundaries in your life, a good place to live. So reflect on that as you stand up and you walk to your door and you notice that your door shapeshifts into it's almost like spheres or bubbles of pastel changing colors. And allow yourself to absorb those healing colors completely into every cell of your body, giving you even more energy and strength to perform the ceremony that we're about to do, and to really bring in the power of the spirits and align with the power of the universe, so that there's an exponential energy that goes into manifesting our greatest dreams. So as you absorb those colors and step through into the unseen realms, you'll find yourself on a path in nature. It's a beautiful path. And we are moving into winter. So notice how the colors might be changing. How does the earth feel under your feet as you walk? What's the texture like? Is it a little bit more crunchy in the cold of winter? What does the air smell like? What does the air taste like? Feel the textures all around you. And feel a heart on the soles of your feet opening up to the power of the earth as you walk. And as you walk, reflect on something that you would really like to ask the universe to bless you with as we move from the solstice and we move forward into the new year. Go into your heart. Ask your heart, not your mind. In shamanism, we see through the heart. And this is something you would like to manifest because you really love yourself. And that's a key teaching in shamanism, that we can't heal or manifest unless we really love ourselves. And that might be your dream, to learn how to love yourself. So you're walking on this beautiful path surrounded by the beauty of nature, and you start to come into the clearing of a meadow, where ahead of you, you see a fire burning. We're in a time of darkness, and the sky is so dark, but the stars are shining so beautifully above us, reminding us of our own light. And as we walk off this path and enter into the meadow, you'll notice that there are guardian spirits who are there waiting to cleanse you. So they're cleansing you of what you need to let go of so that you can step into the ceremony with full commitment and be completely present. They might use sage to clear your might use a feather to clear your field. They might give you a beautiful message as you step into the meadow with the beautiful fire burning. After the guardians have cleansed you, let's come around and form a circle around the fire. And I'll be giving instructions of what to do, but I invite Renee to just blow her wind whistle to show that a new phase of our ceremony is starting now. So remember that the initial wind that Renee brought in is trying to show us something that might be hidden. So as we gaze upon the beauty of the fire, let your eyes unfocus a bit. Let your heart open. Allow yourself to feel the power of your solar plexus. And notice if there's maybe a hidden dream that's a little bit different than what you were focusing on as you walked up the path. And in the ceremony, if you're unclear, people get so afraid. Oh my God, what if I ask for the wrong thing? Well, the fire and the universe are reading your heart, so don't worry about that. But know that there are hidden forces amidst us during this ceremony. So whatever you're dreaming about, the universe might bring you something even a little bit better. In shamanism, one of the joys of working with shamanism is there's always a surprise element. And so you'll notice at the fire that there are baskets filled with little pieces of wood that are tied with beautiful strands of yarn and different nature objects hanging from them. They're beautiful talismans that have been made for us by the spirit realm that will hold the magic of spirit meeting fire, asking for our dreams to come true. So find a talisman that has the colored yarn and the beautiful nature objects hanging from it that you're attracted to, and pick it up. You're aware that there's so many people in our circle, and we're all eagerly looking for that perfect talisman. We're all eagerly have our hearts open to create a wish for ourselves, to ask the universe to bless you with something that you desire. And you're aware of a whole circle opening their hearts, asking to do the same. So let's just take a moment to honor everybody in the circle who's working together. Because as we manifest our greatest dreams, the world around us changes and our collective changes too. So we smile at everybody who's here in our circle. We're dreaming for ourselves, we're dreaming for all of life, and we're dreaming for the earth. And now put your attention back to your talisman and go inside and form an image or a feeling, a smell, a taste, a sound of your dream, and blow that into that talisman. And with courage and with passion for life and for love for yourself and for all of life and for gratitude for your life, step forward to the fire and give the fire your talisman, knowing that the fire has been instructed by the guardian spirits to bring your dreams to the universe so that they can be manifested in the way that serves you best. And again, there might be a surprise element in that. And as you place your talisman into the fire, notice that there's cedar in bowls that you can feed the fire with to give thanks. And either drum or rattle or imagine yourself drumming and rattling and singing and dancing around the fire as everybody has a chance to put in their blessings. What are we asking for? Let's dance around the circle and support those who are still doing their work with the fire. And we keep thanking the fire and the power of the universe and all the elements for supporting us during this ceremony. We give thanks to the moon and the stars and the sky for shining the light and the dark on us during our ceremony. Big energy to support our work. And so now as we dance and drum around the fire and watching the fire taking our wishes up to the power of the universe, let's dance for all of life, for all the young in all the species that live in the earth, the air, the water. There's babies and young ones who are dreaming about a home to live in, who are dreaming about food, who are dreaming about being honored and respected, but they have no voice to put out their dream at this time. So let's dream for them and send a dream to the power of the universe for all of life, that all of life experiences honor and respect and love in this upcoming year. And that we all have what we need, not just to survive, but to thrive. As we dance, we give thanks to all the spirits who have been with us during our ceremony and are supporting our work. We give thanks to the fire, to the earth, to the air, to the water. We give thanks to the guardian spirits who created this amazing fire and ceremony for us. It's a place you can come to work with the guardian spirits and fire and perform your own ceremonies. But for now, it's time for us to take our leave. And so we all wave goodbye to each other at our circle. And we start to move towards the path back home. And let's just reflect on the work that we've done in this ceremony as I sing you back home again. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, 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 yo. So you come back to that amazing doorway with many colors, healing colors, and with joy in your heart, you touch your hands on those colors, and you take in that healing light as you enter back into the room that you're journeying in. And you place your hands on your heart with gratitude for the opportunity to work with the spirits and our circle in this amazing way as we bring in a new phase of our life. It is the winter solstice, and we welcome the change that comes with this new phase. And we connect with nature where we live. And we connect with the change in the air and the change in the earth, the change in the sun, the change in the water, the change in the light, and the change in us. Feel yourself deeply grounding to the earth as we end our ceremony. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome you back with my little fairy bells. I can't help it. I love the sound. I love the whistling, Renee. Thank you so much.
What a beautiful ceremony. And just a reminder, if you want more ceremony, join me later this afternoon in the Wind Clan at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And again, wishing you the most joyous and prosperous and wholesome rest of your year.
Blessings, everyone, and happy solstice.